Things really starting to pick up out here, especially in terms of the wind. We're starting to feel that sand start to kind of pelt us in the face. This is the water line from the flooding, almost as tall as I am, and I'm 5'11", to give you some perspective there. I'm gonna step out of the way so that you can get a closer look at it. You can just see a massive section of the sea cabin pier here just ripped apart by Hurricane Isaias. Under the new ordinance, Hoffman says digging a hole will be just fine as long as you fill it up when you're done. Instead of just one defendant, there'll be a whole room full of them. This was the scene more than a month ago. Now, a very different scene. The water levels just continue to rise so much. I mean, take a look. It's just, it's almost completely over my boot here. Can you see the wind picking up there on the trees there? You can see it was ripped up from the ground from a short burst of wind. I had to listen to that end of watch at least about a dozen times when putting that story together with photographer George Hansen today. Every single time, including just a few seconds ago, just never failed to give me goosebumps. Catherine Phillips is live outside the police department building in Myrtle Beach right now, which is actually boarded up as we speak. Catherine, what's the scene looking like right now? A curfew is in effect in the city limits of Myrtle Beach as of about 20 seconds ago. That breaking news comes to us tonight out of Myrtle Beach, where police say one person has been injured in a shooting. Here's a live look at the scene. Looking ahead to Thursday, Myrtle Beach city leaders will meet to discuss a possible mask mandate. Last week, Myrtle Beach Mayor Brenda Bethune asked the city attorney about the legality of doing so. Our coverage on Congressman John Lewis continues with Washington correspondent Alana Austin. She joins us live now in D.C. with how lawmakers on both sides of the aisle are remembering his legacy. Alana. Earlier this week, we brought you a series about the Move Over law.
It's something in place to help protect first responders when they're alongside of the road. Yeah,
the law says drivers need to move over. Happening now, fans are in the stands tonight as racers are set to make their way around the track at the Myrtle Beach Speedway for the last race in the Speedway's history. WMBF News reporter Catherine Phillips live now at the track. And Catherine, the weather has been a little iffy out there this afternoon. Is this last race even going to go on today?
The Myrtle Beach Speedway was getting a proper goodbye. Patrick.
Yeah, Catherine, definitely good to see them get that. But the next natural question now, though, what's next for the racetrack? And also, we were just talking off camera about how even when the sun goes down, when we go for those evening runs, it's still sweltering.
It's hard to escape it.
One last look at the weather here, and no shocker here, it's hot.
It's hot, and it's dry.
Law enforcement motorcycles led the way during a procession this morning following a private service in Murrells Inlet. A hero's welcome for Corporal Ambrosino at the Myrtle Beach State Park. A massive American flag flown by Horry County Fire Rescue trucks. The 32-year law enforcement veteran died after a long fight against COVID-19 and the complications that followed. Family and friends of the fallen officer gathered at the pier of the state park to spread sand and shells. A plane flew above the ocean waters with the words R.I.P. Ambro on a banner behind it. The perfect tribute to the man who served the county along the same stretch of coastline for 7 years.
I'm getting emotional just talking about it.
Mike Brickner never even met Ambrosino. He just so happened to be on the beach at the time of the service. Despite that, the Vietnam veteran knows what it's like to defend the lives of others, just like Ambrosino did as a police officer.
Before all this virus and everything went, if I saw a police officer anywhere, I'd go up and shake their hand and thank them for their service, because they're the army that guards all of us in our homes.
A well-liked guy.
Jim O'Brien knew Ambrosino. He met him in New York when they both worked in corrections. They went their separate ways and reconnected in Horry County years later.
A decent, well-liked guy. I haven't heard a guy say a bad word about him. Really, he was just that type of individual.
To end the ceremony today, Horry County Police gave Corporal Michael Ambrosino his end of watch.
Corporal Michael Ambrosino, end of watch, Tuesday, August 19th, 2020. So it has been a privilege and honor to serve you. Your brothers and sisters of Horry County Police Department have from here.
With every passing car, the anticipation for 7-year-old Bryson Jones builds. He and his group of friends are waiting for a special gift when finally it arrives. The North Myrtle Beach Department of Public Safety and North Myrtle Beach Fire Rescue drove by Bryson's house on Little River Neck Road to make his wish come true. The first responders teamed up with the Make-A-Wish Foundation to give Bryson this special afternoon because he's been through a lot.
Bryson is a heart transplant patient. He's been in and out the hospital since he's been 2 weeks old with issues with his heart.
Solonda Jones is Bryson's mother. She says in 2018, a week before his birthday, Bryson received a new heart. He spent much of last year in the hospital, but thankfully, 2020 has been a relatively healthy year for him. His original wish was to go to Disney World. The Make-A-Wish Foundation was going to grant that wish, but couldn't because of coronavirus. So until they can do that, Bryson was celebrated by first responders. What did you think about what happened today?
It was good.
Although he is a man of few words, it's clear Bryson and his mom will cherish this day forever.
It makes me feel very grateful that they picked my son.
In North Myrtle Beach, Patrick Lloyd, WMBF News.